I've recorded a few videos lately where I've referenced TV show First Dates. We get inspiration from anywhere, and I enjoy observing people really, reading people's mannerisms, the way they behave. I find it fascinating. But the part that sort of bothers me with society is how quick people are to judge and give up on people. And I think in a dating environment, that's kind of where you judge the most, and there's no comeback. So I watched someone, he's autistic. You can tell he's autistic. He repeats himself a lot, has struggles to form sentences. Everything felt like an interview, so you could see the more he got stressed, the worse he got. Um, so I think if you're on the other side of that, of course, you think you can understand someone maybe doesn't want to invest in someone like that. You're like, that's not, it's not smooth. But that's someone in a high pressure situation that doesn't do well with pressure, and has has issues with social skills. But I don't think people should be quick to judge that. I mean, the woman that he was on a date with, she was nice, she was patient. Ultimately, she said she would like to see him again, but as friends, and it deflated this guy so much. I've never seen anyone return to the first date's restaurant after they've left. He didn't know. I don't think he knew what to do with himself. So he went back, and the staff were actually really nice with him. He was like, he felt lost. He felt really low about himself. And instead about how he's going to have to change himself and be this and that to try and get someone to like him. And they said all the right things. No, you don't. You just need to be you, and you'll find that. And then it's just about finding the right one. Yeah. But anyway, just watching it, I just felt so sorry for him as he was going through the. I see dating sometimes like interviews. It feels like that sometimes. Some people go through like an effortless transition with someone, and some others it's like a really hard raft to get through. And I find that quite interesting because it's like no way's right way. It just depends on the personalities, and I think often you need someone that's the talkative one and someone else that's a bit more docile, I guess. Because I think sometimes you have two people that are really on the extreme of creativity, if you like, it can get out of control. But then you get two that are reserved. Conversation just stops. Yeah, I mean, I've spoken about it before. In terms of dating, it's not my forte. I don't like the idea of dating at all, to be honest. I prefer just to be in a relationship. I'd rather just skip the process. I'm not someone that likes to sell myself. I don't want to have to go through a whole life story with someone and trying to get someone to effectively trying to sell yourself. This is who I am. These are all my traits. This is what I'm about. This is what I've done. It's like a resume. Yeah, I mean, I'm really good talking to people though, so I could effortlessly just connect with people. But it is that sort of interview stage that I just find really frustrating, and it's like but like I said, you can get judged through that. Someone could look at it and think it's not the best date, and it's like, yeah, because it's stressful as hell. And where do you start? Where do you finish? And I always say this: the prolific daters, the players, they'll be great at dating. So if you come across someone that's actually amazing on a date, they're probably a player. But yeah, anyway, just watching the show just makes me realize how many people I think just get looked over because they're not great daters. And I feel so sorry for them. I really do, because it's like if someone just invested just a little bit more time, doesn't mean it would definitely work. But I think even if you just went on another date, I think you'll find that person's going to be far more composed. They'll be far more settled because now they're familiar with you. It's no longer high pressure. And I think then you'll know if it's got the potential. I don't think first dates are always the place for that. Of course, we don't owe anyone anything. I just think sometimes opportunities get missed. But yeah, it's a great program really to just analyze people. There was one guy on a date with someone, and all he kept saying towards the end, they were hitting it off. They were both older, in their 60s, party people, which is crazy for people that age, but each to their own. But all he kept saying towards the end was, "Oh, his relationships before in the past never worked out because he's independent, too independent." He just kept saying it, and she's saying one day she'd like to meet someone and still have the potential for marriage. All he kept saying was independent, and straight away she was like done with this. It's like, and you can understand that. It's like you got a guy standing there just constantly saying he's independent, which means he's not interested in a commitment. So what? I couldn't help but think, what are you here for? You've gone through this whole charade of trying to sell yourself pretty much and impress this person, and then by the end you're just sabotaging it, because that's exactly what was happening. And it was like, wait, you must be doing it on a subconscious level, whether you realize it or not. He sabotaged that date, either to save her or save himself. Who knows? But yeah, like I say, I do enjoy these programs because it's good to watch people. In the past, I couldn't even watch it. I used to watch it a long time ago. And then during after a breakup, it's like certain things are no-go areas. I think when you're healing, it triggers too much. But my heart's more open now. I'm ready for love. I'm ready for romance. I'm ready for a relationship. So I can watch it now and watch it with an open heart, And I think you can put yourself on both sides. You can put yourself on that. As strong as you are and as confident you are, I think when you're opposite someone who you've got an immense attraction for and you don't want to blow it, I don't think it matters how cool, calm, and collected you are. You don't want to mess it up. And like I said, I think for me personally, a first date is a high stressful situation. But on the other side of that, of course, is you don't want to be with someone that doesn't want you anyway. So it's like I say all the time, though, don't change who you are. Be yourself. And it's up to people to sort of want that or not want that, But I do think people shouldn't sort of give in so quickly. Yeah, I see a lot of characters. I see a lot of people, and it's really nice when you see people come together. Though, maybe they're a bit anxious at the beginning, because it's awkward when they first meet each other. Sometimes it's more awkward than others, depending on obviously who the people are and their personalities and whatnot. But as the sort of date goes flowing, it's nice how people transform. It's whether those personalities really, it comes down to the matchmaking. I think if someone's done their job well and they've listened to what the people want and then they've matched them with like-minded people, I think it's a beautiful thing. But you see so much contrast. You see people that are confident, people that like just like going out all the time, people that like staying in all the time, some incredibly geeky people. But they all have everyone has their quirks, and there's always someone that's interested in what the others, There was one guy yesterday, and he was a really geeky person, all gaming, but it was like weird to me because it's like I like gaming as much as the next person, but I don't sort of take that into my everyday life, And this person every reference was a gaming reference to all day, even no matter what they were doing. And I thought, whoa, that's a bit intense. And it's the way I look at things as well. It's like he went on a date with this girl who she had a bit ADHD. I think she had something about her where she struggles to read people. And she just blurts things out. But I like people like that, people that wear their heart on their sleeve. You don't have to sort of like what they're thinking, and they just say what they're thinking. That's great, because you don't have to read between lines. And she's sort of just accepting him for who he is, and it's like I'm watching, and she's bringing him out of his shell a bit. And I think that's what some of these people need. They need someone that don't judge them, but you will see them evolve through time. They'll still enjoy their hobbies, and it'll be an important part of who they are. But it doesn't mean they'll have that level of obsession in the future, because we grow. People grow and they transition. And again, people are too quick to judge people in a single moment, and not appreciate the fact that we do grow, we evolve. So who is the person at their core? And I think people that are friendly, people that are kind-hearted, I think that's something to treasure. It really is. It's like people overlook that so often, and you look and thinking, if you just give this person a chance, they will care for you and cherish you, and they'll be an incredible partner. And they're loyal, But each to their own, of course, But yeah, like I said, I just find it fascinating because it's great for me to watch people, you know, and I can sort of like look and go, God damn, if you just gave them one more chance or gave them a little bit longer, I think they'd have been okay.